Hi, this is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today. I'm here in San Francisco at the eMetrics Marketing Optimization Summit. And I'm here with Rob Snell, who's an expert in e-commerce. And I wanted to talk to you today, Rob, about how you decide what to sell online. You've had a lot of experience with clients.
I've been working with Yahoo store owners for over 10 years now.
And so you've heard about everything. So with the clients, say, how do you help them figure out what to sell? What are the basic steps?
Well, first off, you want to figure out what's selling online.
Okay, how do you do that?
And there are two ways to do that. You can look online and see what other folks are selling, and you can look offline and see what other product categories are doing well for retailers. And so what I get my retailers to do is I say, go online, go look at eBay. eBay's pretty transparent about letting you see what other people are selling. Same thing with Amazon. You can go look at their bestseller list and see, actually in numerical order, what the best products are on Amazon in different categories.
Okay. Can you do that on eBay also?
Yeah, you can actually see the completed auctions. And there's some third-party software like Terapeak.com, and there are a couple of other third-party providers that actually you can subscribe to their information for 40 or 50 bucks a month and actually see specific sellers, what they're selling, what the final completed price was on an auction, and get a pretty good idea what's moving on eBay.
Okay.
And online, it's like with an online store, it's a little bit different than with an auction site as far as trying to find something to sell, because you're not competing against people in the exact same marketplace. It's kind of like having your own store versus being in the flea market.
Okay. So the first step is finding out what's selling.
Right, because you want to make sure. Right, you want to make sure that you're selling something that there's actually a large enough audience for you to make a living selling this product. And I've seen people try to sell, calligraphy of their poetry, or anything from that to their paintings or their grandmother's crochet or things like that at the bottom end. Mm-hmm. As far as seeing what other niches are out there, you want to make sure that you're focusing enough though on something to where you're not competing. You're not trying to sell every single book in print like Amazon does. Mm-hmm. You want to focus in a niche.
Okay, so the first step is what's selling. What's the second step?
The second step for me with a client is the client needs to be interested in what they're selling. If they don't have a personal attachment to the category, whether it's a business they grew up in, or it's what they do for fun as a hobby, or they sold that stuff before in the real world, they're going to have a hard time selling online, because you're going to be competing against the best people in the world, the most enthusiastic people in the world who sell those types of products. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a personal attachment to the product, you're not going to be able to do as well.
Yeah. So you might say, boy, this is a wonderful product, though I'm really not interested.
Well, like a good example would be with our family business. With Gun Dog Supply, we sell dog tracking collars and supplies for hunting dogs. Well, I got the geek gene where my brother got the hunting gene, okay? And so it's something that I'm not personally interested in, but my brother's so into it that it's so easy for him to write content and do videos and do blog posts that it just flows out of his mouth naturally.
So you're the dog that doesn't hunt.
Absolutely.
All right. So secondly, you really need to like it, and liking it probably means you have some in-depth knowledge.
Right. Usually, the folks that I see that do best with their Yahoo stores are retailers who actually have product knowledge, either from years of being in the industry and selling it offline, like through a brick and mortar store, or folks who, like I said, grew up in the family business, mm-hmm. or folks who are hobbyists who just finally decided they're spending 10 hours a day working on this, they might as well get paid for it.
Okay. So step one, what's selling? Step two is make sure you like it.
And I'd say step three would be make sure that you can get it, because there's so many things that people are interested in that they just can't get distribution for. There's certain retailers that have exclusivity. There's certain distributors that won't allow you to sell their products online. I've seen lots of retailers who have stores who don't have permission from the manufacturer to actually carry their products online. And we ran into that ourselves. We were selling some Warhammer science fiction role-playing miniatures. Okay. And the manufacturer decided that was going to be their channel, and the retailers were out of luck. If you were selling it online, you had 30 days to get their products offline, or they'd cut you off completely. So you have to make sure that you can get the product. And a good way to do that is to look at some of the drop shipping companies, like Doba, DOBA.com, is a good source of supply for, they have probably 600 or 700 different vendors, okay. And they all get fed through the same apparatus, mm-hmm. as far as processing orders.
Worldwide brands, dropship directory.
Absolutely, it's like Chris Maltus.
Yeah, another good one.
Yeah, and there are places like that. The only caveat that I would tack onto that would be is that when you're a drop shipper, or when you're shipping through a drop shipper, you're competing against somebody like me who's buying direct from the manufacturer. And let's just say we had the exact same websites in terms of quality and information and the exact same pricing because we're both really competitive. Well, I'm going to get a better break on price. So either I can pay more for clicks and beat you in PPC, or I can pay the same thing as you and actually beat you in profitability, and 10 years from now I'll still be here. So you also want to do a little research and make sure.
So let me just slow down here a bit. So you buy the stuff in bulk and keep an inventory.
Absolutely.
So you've got
we have
money,
a warehouse.
You got money tied up in inventory.
Right.
But you're able to ship quickly, control customer service, and sell at a better price or a better margin.
Better margin.
Whereas if I'm a drop shipper, it costs very little to get into the game, but I can't compete on price and I can't have as big a margin. And I've seen some that do both. They're best-selling products that keep in inventory, and other ones they make available, but they're not their core business.
Right. Well, dropshipping is a great way to get your little toe into something and just kind of see if it's going to work for you and see if folks are interested in buying from your website.
Okay.
And then later on, you can establish a relationship with either a distributor or buy direct from the manufacturer, when you get to move in that kind of volume.
So see what's selling. Do you like it? Can you get it? What's the fourth
and
step?
Then, can you make money selling it? And I guess that kind of ties back into
Well, how do you mean now? How do you make money?
As far as you got to cover your costs, your marketing costs are going to be, it's just getting more and more expensive every day to sell online. PPC costs are going up. Revenue share, every single channel that we go through, they keep raising their percentages that they want. eBay, Amazon's doing it.
They're getting greedy, huh?
Yeah, hopefully Yahoo won't do it, but you never can tell. So you just want to make sure, you sit down and you actually look at the numbers and go, okay, well, based upon our conversion rate, based on what I got to pay for traffic, based on my gross margin, can I actually make a profit, selling these products?
Okay. And then, and only then, should you go to the hard work of setting up a store and cranking this business up.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I recommend that folks do is to maybe build out a baby site. The last thing you want to do is get a 50,000 product database feed from a supplier or a drop shipper, populate a Yahoo store with it, and just have a clone of the 7,000 other stores that are out there that are doing the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. You can take one or two products, do a little bit of keyword research, build out a microsite, with a product page, an information page, build out your shopping cart, just like you're going to do when you actually really blow your store up big. But you can actually see what keywords convert for you. You can see where folks go on the site. You can just learn so much about that type of customer.
But do your research. Now, you wrote a whole book on this. Tell me about your business and this book and what you do.
Yeah, I wrote this book a couple of years ago from the Dummies people. It's starting a Yahoo business.
There you go.
For dummies.
Okay.
There's a year of my life right there.
Yeah.
But I put all the information that I wish I had 10 years ago when I got into e-commerce, when I put my mom's business online.
It's a great book, by the way.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate the review.
And where do they get the book?
You can get it on Amazon.com. I make $1. But you can go to robsnell.com, and I've got the reviews there and links to the Amazon page and everything.
This is Ralph Wilson at Web Marketing Today.